Hi guys, Trevor from Cyclery here. Today we're going to take a look at my personal bike. It's a new Blur TR from Santa Cruz. So the Blur is a model that's been in Santa Cruz's lineup since 2002. They canceled the model in 2014 and re-released it in 2018 as a 29er specific XC race bike. So the Blur comes out of the box in two different models. They have the XC version, which is 100 millimeters of travel in the front, 100 in the back. You have remote lockout front and rear, and it has a rigid post. They also offer a Blur TR, which has 110 millimeters in the front. It has a dropper post, a little bit bigger front rotor, still super light, still, an XC capable bike, but just something that's adapted for people that, have one bike or just want to do trail riding on it. We're going to take a look at the custom build that I did, which takes it even a step further. To start it off, I did, a pretty short stem, 50 millimeter Deity stem, paired up with some 790 millimeter Deity bars. I also opted for guide brakes instead of the levels that are spec'd on the bike, so a little bit more braking power there. Stuck with the 180 rotor in the front, 160 in the back. Instead of the 110 mil fork that comes in the bike, I went with the Fox 34 Stepcast 120. I just went with the normal fork, no remote lockout there. In the back, I also went, opted for the Shox Deluxe shock with no lockout. To the crank set here, went with a trail-ready crank, so 170 millimeters, keep it nice and short, but still strong. Wheel set, kept it light, same wheels that are spec'd on the bike, Industry 9 hubs with the Reserve 25 hoops. Coming to the tires, I kind of opted for a heavier option, so I have pretty much enduro-ready tires. Got the new Generation 3 AT tire from E13 in the front. In the back, went with the LG1, so downhill ready tire, and I went with the semi-slick. So fast rolling, handles sharp rock hits, and you can really push the limits of the bike with these tires. So where I really balled out on the build here is, kept it classy with the Chris King headset, ceramic bearings, and then I went with the SRAM XX1 Axis and the Axis Reverb. So on this bike, it's extremely lightweight, and part of the way they make this frame so light is they offer they have external routing on the brake, and then they also took out some of the internal routing for the frame. So the Axis is really cool because it makes, setting up your dropper post a breeze. You don't have to feed cables through there. And also if you're in an XC race or doing something where you want to swap out for a straight post, you can do that in a matter of minutes. Drivetrain as well, super lightweight. It's slightly lighter than the XX1 mechanical group. And I have it paired up here with a 9-46 E13 cassette, which so far has been working really well. A little bit tighter gear range, and then I have the 9-tooth, so if you're, doing a super fast fire road descent, you're never gonna run out of gear. So as the bike sits right here, it weighs in at 27.5 pounds. Take into consideration I have a downhill casing rear tire and also a pretty beefy reinforced casing front tire. But all in all, with the ride time I've had on the bike so far, I'd say the standout features here are for sure the fork. So the Stepcast 34, it kind of lies, just a little bit heavier than an XC fork, quite a bit lighter than something, like a beefy enduro fork, but as far as like stiffness and performance, it just really feels like a kind of a perfect match for a bike like this, where I don't feel like it's holding me up when I'm trying to pedal really hard, but then let off the brakes and go down any descent. And the fork seems to track well and really give me the support I need. So yeah, looking at a couple other fine details on the bike, I'm running the Specialized Power Saddle with Mimic. It's actually a women-specific saddle, but I find that on a bike like this, sometimes you're climbing up super steep stuff in the saddle, and you're really, getting the saddle digging into places that you don't want it to dig into. So the soft foam here helps a lot with that, staying comfortable on long rides, all that. I also have a King titanium cage, so lightweight, never throws a bottle. And I'm running a RockShox Maxil Stealth in the back of the bike. So keep it nice and, looking clean, save a little bit of weight there. Also have the Fox Cobalt, and that comes standard here with the Fox 34. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get out to the trail and see what this bad boy can do. All right, guys, so here it is, my Santa Cruz Blur Downcountry bike. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, air pressure, suspension settings, why my bike doesn't have wires, anything, just drop a comment below, hit subscribe, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. All right, so we're gonna take a blur at my peak. They've had models like the Blur XC, the Blur TR, the Blur LT, the Blur 4Cross. Too many words, too many blurs. Purebred XC race machine. Feels incredibly faster than your dad's sports car. So yeah, throw that Porsche away and get a Blur.